Today, I want to talk about this. So as you may or may not know, I shot a feature film this past July here in my house and in the crawl space called Bad Bones Movie. It's a sci-fi movie I've been working on. And if you've been following the Bad Bones page in Facebook or on Instagram, you may have seen me with some strange gadget wrapped around my chest. It's got a strap, it's got some kind of screen and a battery pack, and you may have deduced that yes, it was indeed a director's monitor. These are really great for not only being away from the DP so you don't have to look at his tiny screen, but also it's good for shooting if you're in a tight space and you can't get behind the cinematographer. You might have to be away from them. It's also good to show other people on the crew what you're looking at or what the camera sees, and also the actors. And this is the one I use. This is the one I built. I guess it's the Frugal director's monitor, although it's not super frugal, as we'll point out in a minute. This isn't super cheap to build. I probably could have built it with cheaper parts, but I did my best to keep the cost down. This whole thing actually runs about $60 without the battery pack and without the screen. So hopefully, if you've got an Android tablet laying around or an extra Android phone or what have you, or also maybe a USB battery bank, you could probably put this together for a lot cheaper than I did. But this is what I use. And the reason that I use an Android-based system here is because the camera that we use to shoot the movie with, the Sony A7sIII, actually has a mode that allows you to create a Wi-Fi network around the camera or with the camera that you can connect the tablet to. And you use that with an app that you can download to control the camera remotely. Now, part of the screen in this remote control app is obviously the image, and the other part, about a quarter, is some camera controls like exposure, ISO, focus, things like that you can do remotely. But it's great as a wireless monitor. The tablet has a battery in it you can keep charged, but it's not going to run all day. So you need something like this battery pack, a USB battery pack, constantly plugged in that will keep it topped off so that it won't ever die. I actually had a couple of these battery packs that I would just swap out at the end of the day and then keep them charged overnight so I could always have power for this monitor that I used all the time, and it actually worked pretty well. So let's take a closer look about what makes this thing tick and how to build it right now. So these are all the basic parts to build the wireless director cam rig with, and it's all kind of built around this two-handed stabilizer device used for smartphones, essentially, use them for filmmaking. And it's a really good base to build this around because it's got lots of contact points here. As you can see, it's got some 1/4-20 threads on the top, side, bottom. It's also got 3 cold shoe mounts on top there. Just all kinds of great stuff to build around if you can find the right need for it, and this is what I use for this. First thing we need to do is figure out a way to make this thing stand upright when built, so it has sort of a shoe on the bottom or a foot. Because I've seen lots of these director's monitors where they just lay them flat on their back, but I wanted a way to kind of stand it like that without tipping over. So I actually got a Manfrotto 501 tripod plate here. I think it's a 501. Anyway, it's a long one, and it actually comes with this receptacle right here. Get this on eBay. I'm going to take this plate out. You can actually use this on a C-stand or another tripod if you wanted to put the monitor on it. I never did that, but I did build it around this plate right here, at least the foot portion. And I did modify it. I actually took the little pin out right here, and I put another 1/4-20 screw through it, kind of one that I would get on another tripod plate. So these are actually matching. But you could get a 1/4-20 screw also, just a regular screw if that's what worked. You just need something to put your tablet holder on. So our battery pack is going to sit in here. So we want the red facing this way. And your tripod plate is actually going to, the front screw here needs to be opposite the red part. So we're just going to take this middle screw here, the one that came with the tripod plate, and it's going to go into the bottom of the stabilizer right there. So it's going about right in the middle. Again, remember the red part is facing this way away from this screw, which is now out in front. That's what we're going to attach the tablet mount to. All right, next thing we want to do is attach the cell phone holder, which is this thing that has a 1/4-20 thread on the back. And this is what our battery pack is going to fit into. So again, this is going to go in the red portion right here. We just need some way to put it through or attach it. And for that, I'm using this cold shoe mount. You can also use just a quarter inch screw that's of the right length. So this is just a way you can adjust it. Once you get it where you want it, you can just tighten it. I'm just tightening it by hand here on the other side because it's got kind of a knurled knob. I've actually closed this all the way just to make it easier to attach here, because once this gets into place, it's hard to move. So I made this small so I can spin it around. So there you go, and as you can see, the plate on the bottom here gives it room to sit, and it's got the little grabby pads so that once you tighten it down, it should work just fine. I actually like to put a rubber band around this section here as a safety so that this pack just won't fall out. All right, so next we need a spot to mount the actual tablet here on this side, and I'm just using a tablet mount. This is just a basic tablet mount I got on eBay, and it's got a 1/4-20 thread on the bottom so that I can mount this. Because I wanted straps on this device, I bought these, which are basically a 1/4-20 thread on the bottom here with a little loop. It fits nicely into the top here of these 1/4-20 holes, and I'm going to snug them up just a hair so they don't fall out. This is just a strap I took off of another bag, surplus strap I had laying around. So let's put our tablet in. Let's put our battery pack in. There you go, it's drawing power from that. You just need to manage your cable. That's pretty much it. And that is how I built my wireless director's monitor. Again, all the parts are about $60 to $70, and you could whittle some of that down. Like if you had your own USB power bank or maybe bought a smaller one than I did, it wouldn't cost as much, or you have access to a tablet or used a different one. Now again, I can't exactly be sure what tablets are going to work with this Sony app. Again, using the Sony A7S III is what we used. And there might be other cameras that use a similar idea of creating its own Wi-Fi network so that you can connect an external tablet to it for remote control or for monitoring. You're just going to have to look into your own camera. And if you're wondering, hey Scott, I don't have a camera that does this, so is there some kind of wireless director's monitor that I can use, that you can build, or that you have built? And the answer is yes. It's more complicated, but it ties into some previous videos I've made in the past about using this Android screen to cast to another monitor using a Microsoft wireless adapter, which I'll go more into detail in the future for anybody that wants to use this idea but doesn't have a Sony A7S III or a camera that uses this technique. Thank you for watching, and remember, all links are in the description below, as well as links to the Bad Bones Facebook page and the Frugal Filmmaker Instagram account if you want to kind of follow me or see what's going on as I'm posting to those accounts 5 days a week with BTS photos and other links that have aided me in my quest to get this movie done, hopefully to be released next year. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you next time.